Hello everyone, Seth here from Kibu Productions, and welcome to part 1 of the director's chair for my short film, Rückfall, where we'll be talking about pre-production for the short film. So let's go ahead and start out with some conceptualization. We first started doing this film in January. We kind of started brainstorming some ideas because a local university was hosting a German Day, a celebration of the German language and culture, and one of the themes for the short film theme for this festival was Nach dem Mauerfall, which translates after the fall of the Berlin Wall. And the Berlin Wall fell officially on November 9th, 1989. And in most cases, it was considered a joyous occasion, the reunification of Germany. Originally, our idea kind of reflected that. We were going to talk about two characters who sent letters across the wall via like balloon or something like that. They would tie their letter to a balloon. But that's not really how it ended up working out, because we decided to go with something a little bit darker, because everyone would sort of expect a kind of joyous and heartfelt sort of thing. But we wanted something that kind of reflected the darker side of the fall. People who had traumatic memories from Eastern Germany that retained these memories, and because of this, they had PTSD and stuff like that. So it was all about those experiences and more of the negative side of memories. So we all kind of got together as a class and we would brainstorm ideas, and this is where, as a director, my job was extremely, extremely important, because there would be times when around 5 or 6 ideas would come up at once for the same part of this plot line, and you'd have to filter out which ones worked and which ones didn't, and sort of retain your creative vision while at the same time accommodating ideas from the class. It was difficult at times, admittedly, and the class knows this. It was difficult at times for me to filter out those ideas and understand kind of what was going on. So it's all about keeping your wits about you and retaining your creative vision while also retaining the class's creative vision as well. So once we finally came up with this idea for Klaus Becker, our wall guard, we broke into groups to write the plot. And the plot sort of follows this former wall guard, Klaus Becker, who smuggled his family to the west side of Germany, was forced to shoot his friend as part of the unofficial kill order given to the wall guards that anyone attempting to flee across the Berlin Wall should be shot and killed. And so we each wrote one scene. I was a part of the group that wrote scene 1 because I had a specific way that I wanted it to start out, and everyone else wrote their scenes. And the weekend after writing, I put everything in a big Google document, which Google document has saved me a million times these past years. And I sewed each scene together and took out some parts that didn't work and kept the consistency of the plot line. And I had a couple of German students and the German teacher look over it. And I came back and we had our script. And we made sure to edit it so that was proper German. But after that, we had to cast. And it was kind of a one-shot deal. You volunteered, you were in the cast, because I've had people that I'd worked with in the class before with filming and cinema. And so that wasn't necessarily that difficult, and we couldn't really get professional actors, so they did a really good job anyways, which, of course, I expected them to because I've worked with them before. So for the crew, we just sort of, who wants to do behind-the-scenes camera, who wants to do grip, and that's actually the only piece of equipment that I bought for the short film was this boom pole, this micro boom pole from Rode, which has a 9-foot extension distance, which is pretty small when it comes to booms, but definitely large enough for small spaces and stuff like that. So this was the only piece of equipment that I bought for the short film. And we actually did get someone for grip, and we got someone for the behind-the-scenes camera, and we would always have like kind of an assistant come along who would maybe carry some of the equipment or just help overall with keeping everything going. And that's kind of how it rolled, and depending on what day of shooting, we would rotate out and whatever. For location scouting, we were able to use a few rooms in the school, two rooms in the school for shooting. One of them was a band practice room, little practice room, that was our interrogation room. And the other one was a conference room that we used as the psychiatrist's office for scenes 1 and 3. So location scouting wasn't that hard, and actually the room I'm sitting in right now was a part of scenes 4 and 5. So scene 2 was also shot in this room. So I organized everything, but that's in another behind the scenes video. In terms of preparing for production, you just sort of schedule when you're going to shoot, and we had to accommodate everyone's schedule because we had some in-season athletes in the cast, and we also had to make sure that if anyone was going to be gone during one of the shooting days, we get them on the day that they're there. So those were some of the challenges that we just had to plan on. But we'll cover the rest of that in part 2, which will be production. So until then, Seth here from Cubicle Productions. Until then, Seth here from Cubicle Productions, and thank you so much for watching. If you did like the video, please like, subscribe. If you disliked it, dislike it. But until next time, I'll see you guys later. Bye.